Back here in Africa, one of Namibia's opposition presidential candidates says his party would reject the outcome of a general election marred by delays, logistical and technical failures. Partial results showed Pandeleni Tula of the Independent Patriots for Change, trailing Vice President Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, the ruling Southwest Africa People's Organization candidate. Electoral authorities decided to prolong voting until Saturday, after the original election day Wednesday was marred by logistical and technology failures that led to hours-long queues. Pandeleni Tula, who finished second in 2019, said extending voting over multiple days undermines the vote's credibility. He said his party would seek the nullification of the outcome, suggesting a court petition would follow the declaration of results. Namibia's electoral issues come as Mozambique is engulfed in violent unrest after the long-ruling Frelimo party was declared the winner of an election in October, prompting claims of vote rigging and sparking ongoing violent protests in the southern African country. Now, writing fellow African Liberty, Wenjibira Kandanga, joins me from Windhoek in Namibia. Good to have you join us at this time. First, what is your take about the extension of voting in Namibia? Is it justified?
Hello, hi. Thank you for having me. Yes, I do feel like the extension is justified because having 1 day for elections, especially with the issues that we experienced, wasn't enough. So people did petition for an extension, and they did get it. And I think it helped because then it gave everyone a chance to actually cast their vote.
So Wednesday through Saturday is like 4 days.
No, so Wednesday was the actual date, the 27th, and then because of the issues that happened, where people didn't really cast their vote, some were turned back, not enough ballots available, then the ECN declared that Friday and Saturday would be another opportunity for people to cast their votes.
All right. As it stands now, Namibia is one of the opposition candidates, really. Mr. Tula says his party would reject the outcome of that election. What is the implication of this?
Okay, so the reason why he wants to reject the outcome of the results is because there are allegedly corruption and logistical failures at play. And I feel like the implication would be that if they do reject it, then we would have to have another election next year, which the ECN already said they haven't budgeted for it. So I'm not sure. If we can even hold elections, but also a lot of us did agree that we should have elections next year because what happened was not fair. Not everyone was accommodated. So,
all right. But do you see the ruling, president agree to that? Do you see the electoral umpire be able to convince the power, that be at the moment that we really do need to conduct another election?
No, I don't see the vice president. Netumbo Nandi-Ndaitwah, I don't see her supporting the claim to have another election because she is in the leading. So why would she want to have people give them another chance? Because then the votes could change, then the numbers could change, and hers could decline. IPC could rise, and so I don't think that. She's benefited from this elections. Looking at the results, so I don't think that she would support us having another election next year.
Earlier, you spoke about corruption, and I was wondering, is there a way the electoral umpire could have handled the situation differently?
Yes. Yes. Firstly, because the ECN, this is a one-day event every 5 years. I feel like a lot of measures could be taken to not fail the one-day event, such as providing enough ballots for people, firstly, enough polling stations, and then people working at the polling stations because, and then also the amount of time it takes to actually go from the queue into casting a vote. Because some people, I was in the queue from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. Before I would actually get into the venue and cast my vote. Others were there for 12 hours. And even until midnight, they were still in the queues waiting to cast their votes. So they could have accommodated or at least foreseen those issues because they are the same issues that were there in 2010, according to some journalists.
All right. Well, you'll agree that governments are built on legitimacy. Of course, they need the support and trust of the public. And with what you've said, that you doubt that the government would agree to, having another election soon, considering that this is being described as, shambled in some quarters. How do we then ensure that we're able to rebuild public trust such that whoever is declared winner in this election enjoys the support of the people and there is legitimacy really for the government?
I think, okay, well, one thing that was done right and that we should continue to do to ensure legitimacy is the inclusion of the SADC Electoral Observation Mission and the Southern African human rights lawyers. Their contribution or their oversight was, it was unbiased, and I feel like them overseeing this, or at least, walking through us every step of the way, would also let us trust the process, because if they are like, checking and seeing if everything is going according to plan, then we can trust that they are doing their job, So I think that should continue. And then with the parties, I really don't feel like these issues should repeat themselves again, because people were demotivated and they were complaining, and luckily there was no riots or protests on the day, but they did lose a lot of trust amongst the citizens because of how the whole thing played out. So maybe next time they can just better plan and prepare so that people can actually feel like, okay, fine, the government and the ECN is doing something about enabling us to cast our vote.
All right, and considering what's going on in Mozambique and in some other places, legitimacy is really just key to ensure government enjoys the support of its people. Right and fellow African Liberty, Wendavira Kandanga, thank you so much for talking to us on World Now.
Thank you. Bye.